Little Bear's Arrow. Today I wake up, and the morning air is crisp and cool. Despite the deer canvas teepee, the brisk morning air still makes its way inside. My owner, Little Bear, wakes up as soon as my 4 brothers do. Little Bear shivers, his blankets are warm, and the air is cool. At first, he does not want to get out of his covers. Then he remembers how important today is for the rest of his life. Today is the first time he hunts alone to prove he is a warrior, a real man. He has already sworn loyalty to the tribe, and he even stayed up for his first watch alone. He slowly gets out of his blankets, shivering, but proud of what the day will bring. Little Bear carefully checks the points of our arrowheads and places us into a long, thin bag. He doesn't want to damage us. He made the long, hard journey to Riverstones just to find the straightest wood, the sleekest feathers, and to file the sharpest points that he could make for us. His father walks with him to the elders' tent, but is not allowed to go inside. The elders are pleased to see him. The food is low, and the other warriors are sick from sour meat. He is allowed to eat a little bit of food, but then he is to begin his hunt. He grabs a small slice of smoked meat, and then ventures into the forest of towering pine trees. He is careful to make his footsteps inaudible, but it is difficult to silence the snapping and crunching of dry pine needles. After 2 hours, he has only seen 4 small squirrels and 7 skinny chipmunks. He doesn't want to give up or come back with an inedible rodent, but it seems hopeless. The recent arrival of the strange white man, his creaky old carriages, and his use of the long black stick that shoots fiery, ill-shaped rocks on their journeys might have scared the good game away. Little Bear knows he could never catch a bison, but he wants to bring something decent to the elders, not some scrawny chipmunk. He crunches along a small path until he spies a moving shape feasting on some grass. Little Bear wants to run toward the animal, but that will scare it away. We slowly creep towards the animal. He realizes it is a deer as he grasps me from the bag and places me to his bow. Little Bear draws his bow, and the deer sees us. But before it can run, Little Bear releases the string. At that moment I had never felt so much alive. I hit the deer, and it released a small cry before my brothers hit it as well, ending its journey. Little Bear looks ecstatic as he pulls us out of the deer. I think the deer is too large for him to carry, but with him being so dizzy with excitement, anything is possible. With much difficulty, he finally gets the deer back to camp. The elders are extremely pleased. Not only did he bring back a deer, he showed perseverance and courage. Both are things a good warrior has. There will be a ceremony to honor him, with much feasting and the bestowing of his new name, Running Bear. The celebration begins, and with more excitement than I have ever seen in camp before. There is feasting, activities for the children, and of course, the renaming of Little Bear to Running Bear. Running Bear tells us that there will be many more feasts for new warriors, and that he plans to take us to every one. After the feast, he tells us that he will wash us and save us forever. I watched Running Bear grow up to his full potential. He was a great warrior, always being quick to share his enthusiasm on a hunt or a kind word to a fellow warrior. He had a wife and 2 children that seemingly were always excited. Then one day I heard shouts and loud sounds that had no comparison. The white man had come again to take the land of our ancestors. Running Bear quickly put us into a thin sack, jumped on his horse, and fled to a nearby hollow. He placed us under a rock, in the small cave in the boulders, and we never saw him again. Many years later, a man in strange clothing found us. He had a top cloth that didn't extend to his elbows, and a lower cloth that passed his ankles. He wore boots, says the white man, but a bulky head covering like we'd never seen before. He shouted in the white man's language as if he were excited. He took me to another man, and they were both exceedingly joyous. So here I am now, in a glass casing called an exhibit, and a huge building called a museum. At night, when the museum closes, all of the exhibits talk to one another. We talk all night, though it is sometimes hard to hear each other, except George, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. People get excited when they see us, especially children. The children make me think of Running Bear. It sometimes makes me sad, but I know he would be pleased at where I am now.